Coach Tony Dungy, football coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and he has a book that he wrote called Uncommon, and he was speaking to this group of teenagers about living a life that's uncommon. He shares a story about a high school football coach friend of his in Tampa, Florida, who wanted to present this program to his football team. And he presented this to them, and it revolves around wearing a bracelet at school that says "Dare to Live Uncommon." And by taking a bracelet and wearing it at school, you're agreeing that you're going to be a Christian. You're going to follow Christ and not the crowd. You are going to stay away from drugs and alcohol. You're going to remain sexually pure until marriage. You're going to honor, obey, and respect your parents. You're going to be a good friend. You're going to be a good student, and you're going to be a good leader. And so this football coach took this idea to his football team. And at the end of this practice, 2 or 3 guys on the football team raised their hand and said, "Coach, I want one of those bracelets. I want to live a life that's uncommon." Pretty soon, about 30 football players from that team also raised their hand and said that they wanted to live a life that was uncommon. They started wearing these bracelets around school. Pretty soon, kids from other sports teams at the school started knocking on the football coach's door and said, "We want to be in on this. We want to live a life that's uncommon." And then a few more days went by, and then their girlfriends came and knocked on the door of the coach and said, "Hey, we want to be in on this too. We want to live a life that's uncommon." Before long, the whole school were wearing these bracelets, and the whole school was impacted because of 2 or 3 football players that raised their hand and said, "Coach, I want to live a life that's different. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be common. I want to be uncommon." But it didn't stop there. Pretty soon, the football coach from a rival high school across town called the coach and said, "We heard about what you're doing at your school, and we want in on it. We want our students to be a part of it." And so think about that, students. 2 entire high school campuses were impacted because of 2 or 3 football students that raised their hand and said that they were going to dedicate their lives to living uncommon.